Haha, guys, welcome to the most excited I've been when doing videos on this season. Hello guys, welcome, or if you've already seen my channel before, yes, welcome back. I am the Philadelphia Whovian, and for this video, yes, I should clarify to give some people who've not seen my channel before, I am doing a set of videos that are going to go from the very beginning to end of the 12th Doctor's era. So I'm going to do a video on each episode. Why? Because he was the Doctor that I first saw be regenerated into. The first Doctor I ever saw, and it really got me into the show, was Matt Smith. And so I saw eventually Matt regenerate into Peter Capaldi. That was my very first regeneration scene I ever saw, was from Matt into Peter, and it shocked me. I missed Matt, still miss Matt, but I also was able, I said, hey, you know, I'm going to try to get into Peter, but here was the problem. I did not have BBC America, so I had no access to really seeing the shows, and I hate watching things on my computer. So I never got to see all of the entire Peter Capaldi era, but now I've gotten the entire collection, so now I can see all of it. And now we're talking of that wonderful thing called Mummy on the Orient Express, written by the talented John Matheson. Okay, so a little bit of context. I'm going to give a super brief description of this episode in case someone has not watched it and they want to watch this video to see, oh, should I watch this or not? So there we go. So at this point in their relationship, from the previous story, Kill the Moon, the Doctor and Clara, the 12th Doctor played by Peter Capaldi, and Clara played by Jenna Coleman, they have reached a tight spot in their friendship where Clara, due to her anger, there we go, that's what I call enunciation, sorry, due to her anger at something the 12th Doctor did in the previous story, is now saying, you know what, I'm done, Doctor, I'm not traveling with you anymore, we'll just have one more adventure together, and that's it. So they go on this train, train that is going through space. Like, literally, it's a train that literally is traveling through space. And, of course, that's just everything I could have ever dreamed about. But you hear the term like Mummy on the Orient Express. I mean, we all know the reference to the book. Has a similar title. So, yes. When it comes to this particular story, there is a mummy. It literally starts out with a mummy, and you have 66 seconds to live if this mummy is coming to get you. And nothing can stop it until eventually the Doctor, eventually has to be the one who discovers how to stop it eventually. But it's a lot of trial work and guesswork of, well, how is this mummy, how can it be stopped? And who is the one who is pretty much sending this mummy to kill certain people? Because that's it. This mummy can only be visible to the person it is going to kill, and that person has only about, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, those people who saw the video, this story, it has 66 seconds to live before it kills you. So the Doctor is on a train, and it has the classic look to it where you see, Clara and the Doctor in like 1920s or 1930s or 40s, sorry, I get my time periods mixed up. I believe it's 1920s, but I could be wrong. That type of fashion. And they even have Clara in like the bob haircut with a clip, and so you have these people on board on the train, and one by one they're being killed off by a mummy that only they can see. And eventually, the way the Doctor's able to conquer it, he does eventually discover how to stop the mummy, but it's only by him becoming the main person that the mummy is now going to kill. So that's the plot line in a nutshell. And it ends with Clara and the Doctor on good terms. I tried to be very vague about the description to the best of my ability. But if I gave anything away, I am so sorry. But that's the plot. So, what did I feel about this? This is the second time I saw this story, and guys, this was my favorite story when I saw some of the episodes of Series 8 the first time around. This story, something about the context of it, the content, the look of it, the feel, everything about it was awesome. I loved it my first viewing. So, what was it like to revisit this episode again? Guys, I still freaking love it. Oh god, I love everything about this story. I love the direction, the writing, the acting. All of the actors are excellent in this. The 12th Doctor, amazing. Clara, amazing. Jenna looks stunning in this. Oh my god, she looks amazing. And for those of you guys who are like, oh yes, why are you focused on a person's beauty? That's vain. You know what? You got a problem with that, that's your problem. I have no problem admiring beauty every now and again. The rest of us in this world, we're ugly smucks. Just live with it. Accept the fact that some people look better than you. And I don't hold it against them. I give them credit for it. And the fact is, Jenna Coleman looked amazing in this and is one gorgeous woman, by God. But here's another thing. All of the supporting cast, all of them did a good job. The mummy was very well realized and was very scary to behold. And also, this, for me, is the perfect story. Because, one, all the actors were clear. And here's why I think it was. Because this story, perfectly written and directed and acted, yes, but also it went on the writing. This is a script, and the way the director did it, where you are watching something unfold in the proper way. What I mean by that is each scene or each segment of dialogue is there for its own sake, and you don't arrive at the next moment until that next moment comes. Everything is built up properly. It's not like we're trying to rush to the next moment, or this scene is just here to get you to the next scene. No, each scene happens in a sequential form that really builds up to something, but it happens in a very organic way. Each scene is there to prepare you for the next scene, but each scene is in the moment of itself, so that when the next moment happens, you are ready for it. It's not writing that's preparing you for the next moment to happen, the next moment to happen after that. It's not every moment preparing you for the next moment. It's every moment standing on its own 2 feet as being that moment, and the next moment arrives when it does. I can't explain it any better than that, but that's the best I can give it. It's just a script where each moment is there for itself while also building up the next moment, but when the next moment arrives, it happened organically because each moment is standing on its own, and that gave the actors time to really unfold their characters and gave them time to say their lines. That's another thing. The pacing in this was perfect. It gives you an exciting story, but it does it in a way that everything can be processed in a very good and easy fashion. We get to see Peter Capaldi be amazing in this episode, Jenna be amazing, all the supporting characters be amazing, because it is a story that's very tightly done. It's tight. There's no wasted moments, but each moment is still living for the moment, so when the next moment happens, it happens organically. Again, can't explain it any better than that. So, yes, great directing, great writing, great acting. But there was something else I noticed with Mummy on the Orient Express. Watching this, I said, why do I like it so much? There's something familiar about it. And I think the reason why I also like it is because it's pretty much the story, from Series 6. It's the God Complex, but in a different context. The God Complex was an episode from Series 6 of the Moffat era with the 11th Doctor. And hear me out. You're thinking, it's 2 different stories. No, hear me out. And I know the God Complex got inspiration from the Horns of Nyman, but did a lot of creative things to make it stand on its own, so I was cool with it. Alright, so the God Complex. Okay, a lot of you select characters in a confined space, and each one individually, for one reason or another, is hand-selected by the villain or by the antagonist to kill a certain person at a certain time when they are ready to be ordered to be killed. And the Doctor has to try and figure out how to stop this creature, but doesn't know how, and over time, people are dying as the Doctor is figuring out how to destroy or to defeat this creature. He does at the very end, right as the creature is coming towards him in some way, shape, or form, or coming towards someone close to him in some way, shape, or form. At the last second, he figures it out and therefore destroys the creature. But the person who orchestrated this entire thing, who had the Minotaur, the Horn, the Nightman, whatever you want to call it, and the mummy there. It's an overarching villain of a person, but we never see them in the context of the story. We know that someone, is forcing this creature to do this, but we never see them or find out who they are in the actual episode. They go unseen and unknown. We just see the creature that is being forced to serve or to obey this higher force that is making them kill these people in this enclosed space. So that's when I was like, oh yeah, that's why I do like it probably. It's the God complex, but in a different format. And going to show you, it's the plot of a story. Okay, the plot of stories can be done many times, so it's not what you do. It's how you do it and why you do it that makes it special or makes it separate from what has been done before. A plot line has been done to death by this time in history. We're in 2019, it's almost 2020. Every single literary plot line that could possibly be thought of probably has been thought of. You cannot probably create a new plot line, but what you can do is, okay, see a plot line over here. If you can't think of anything original, okay, but how do you make it your own? How do you make it stand out from what's been done before? Can you make it feel unique? So it's not what, it's not the what, which usually is the plot. It's not the what. It's why you tell a story and how you tell a story that really helps the story stand on its own. So there we go. And do you know how to improve or make the story feel separate from what it got inspiration from? There you go. So there is that. That's also why I love it. But another thing I do love about Mummy on the Orient Express is, to me, this is one of the 3 stories that shows the complete difference between the last 3 incarnations of that time in the show. The 10th, 11th, and 12th Doctor. Each of them were different from each other. I know some people try and find connections. No, they have moments where they overlap, but overall, they are 3 entirely separate Doctors. If you just look deep enough and stop having just shallow reflections. I know some people want to try to and say, oh, anyone who came after the 10th Doctor is copying the 10th Doctor. No, they're not. No, trust me. 11 and 12, no, they're nothing like, David Tennant's Doctor, if you just actually bother to analyze and look deeper into their character. So, but this is one of the 3 stories that really sets a difference, sets them apart from each other, is Mummy on the Orient Express, The God Complex, and Midnight. Each 3 stories has the Doctor in an enclosed space where there's an alien who is going to individually select certain people to make it's their victim, and how the Doctor deals with those situations, how the day is solved, and how he responds to each one. With the 10th Doctor, you have him, it just shows the 10th Doctor to a T. You have the Doctor realize there's a problem. He's in an environment where these people are completely closed off, there's an alien presence here, took over somebody, and he tries to calm everyone down and keep them from doing something rash, reckless, and terrible. But eventually, he gets taken over by the alien, and eventually the alien is convincing the people to throw him off of the ship. But at the last second, another character comes in, she realizes what's happening, and she sacrifices herself to destroy this threat and save all of them. The Doctor tried his best to be the 10th Doctor tried his best to be the one to solve the problem and calm everybody down and make sure there were no casualties, but at the end of the day, it took somebody else to come and sacrifice themselves to solve the problem, whereas he almost died in the process. That is classic 10th Doctor right there. Then you've got the 11th Doctor in the God Complex. And then you have the 12th Doctor in the Mummy on the Orient Express. We see how all 3 of these Doctors deal with this situation in 3 different ways. I might do a video on that one day to show how it really shows the arc of all 3. I talked about Midnight, but the God Complex and Mummy on the Orient Express would take a much longer video to do and make this video way too long as it is. So maybe I'm thinking, would any of you guys want to see me talk about that character arc between all 3 of those stories? Or no, I don't know. Either way, I feel like yes, watch those 3 stories back to back, and you'll see the complete difference between all 3 Doctors. So guys, this is my video on Mummy on the Orient Express. I first saw it, I said it was my favorite episode of Series 8, and right now, it still looks like it is that way. So guys, thank you so much. Have you seen Mummy on the Orient Express? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Either way, you're awesome. You're right for feeling as you feel. Guys, thank you so much. Bye, guys.